This is First Coast News on your side.
Right now at 11, tracking Elsa's destructive path across the First Coast with at least 3 confirmed tornadoes in our viewing area tonight.
Plus, a significant flooding in some parts of Duval County with the ground unable to soak up all the rain that fell today.
Good evening and thank you for staying up with us tonight. I'm Heather Crawford.
And I'm Anthony Austin. So let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Tim Deegan with the latest. Tim.
And indeed, it is the latest. Just came in moments ago, 11 p.m. Elsa, still a tropical storm, winds of 45 miles per hour and heading off to the northeast. Now, you may see this big blow up of color. Actually, this big blow up of color happened right over us. It's why we had some of those significant tornadoes during the late afternoon and evening hours. But the core of Elsa is actually right about here, but continues to tap the warm waters of the Atlantic and heading off to the northeast. So notice the cone of concern. It's going to race up. It's going to be over our nation's capital on Thursday, cross over Manhattan, and then we'll be into Canada on Friday, but probably as a tropical storm. Meanwhile, by the way, the rest of the tropics, nice and quiet. The Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, and all the way across to Africa in the Atlantic. So at least we get a breather for a while. What about the rest of the overnight hours into tomorrow morning? Well, again, Elsa is headed away. Big pocket of severe thunderstorms. So basically that squall line that came through here on the right quadrant, the right side of Elsa, continues to head up the eastern seaboard. They're being hit hard in Savannah, and eventually that's going to head up toward the Carolina coastline. Now we'll have a few downpours that are continuing around the area. I don't think any rains that will add significantly to the flooding rains we already have, but we've had significant rains. Remember, just yesterday, there were wondering because the North Fork of the Black Creek seemed nice and low, but in fact, the North Fork of the Black Creek got over 6 inches, and so there is now a flood warning. Now, I want to emphasize, the flood warning in effect for the North Fork only takes it to 17 feet. That's a flood. It's called minor because it's 19 feet that gets it into folks' homes. So again, a minor flood warning in effect for the North Fork of the Black Creek, but we think it's going to crest just below where it would get into homes. Of course, we'll have an update for you on Good Morning Jacksonville early into the morning. Now, there'll continue to be a few showers coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, but overall a very different scenario starting tomorrow. In fact, we're going to take a look at the next 7 days in just a few moments.
And our team has been in neighborhoods all across the First Coast tracking Elsa's path. We want to go up to Georgia now. We start at the Kings Bay Naval Base in Camden County, where we have confirmed that there were multiple injuries earlier tonight in an RV park on base. At least 10 people taken to the hospital. One First Coast News viewer sent us these images and also some video from what he told us was a chaotic scene. On your sides, Robert Bradfield is joining us live tonight in Kingsland with the latest on the weather situation there. Robert.
Well, and thankfully the downpours have ended here, and that could not be better news for those who were at the RV park on base earlier tonight. And one man we spoke with says it was unlike anything he'd ever experienced.
People's fifth wheels on the side.
This video from Sergio Rodriguez shows the aftermath of what Elsa left behind on the Kings Bay Naval Base Wednesday evening. RVs flipped and damaged SUVs litter the Eagle Hammock RV park.
It's utter ruins in that RV park right now.
Rodriguez counted several overturned homes. One man's post on Twitter appears to show debris in the water. Rodriguez says there were water rescues.
There were trailers in the water. They had to get in the water to get people out. There's trailers flipped over on the side. There's some elderly people that live there. So they're going trailer to trailer right now. They're trying to get accountability for what spaces were rented, where those trailers might be. And it's just chaos down there right now.
In a statement, the naval base says there was also damage to buildings and other structures, and the injured were taken to hospitals for treatment, and assessing the damage is ongoing. Rodriguez offered one woman who lost her trailer to stay with him.
I'm from California. I'm accustomed to earthquakes and fires, but this is a whole different level.
And back out here live tonight, we can also tell you that the injuries for those at the RV park, they are minor. That is according to a naval base spokesperson, and that really is some good news considering the wild weather we had here earlier today. When we were driving here, my photographer and I were thinking about stopping along the highway and the interstate here because the weather was beyond poor. We are live tonight in Camden County as we begin our live team coverage. I'm Robert Bradfield, First Coast News on your side.
Robert, thank you. And take a look at this video right here. This is one of 2 tornadoes that touched down in our region this evening. This one captured on camera by Adam Pratt of Pratt Guys on Phillips Highway. That's on Jacksonville's south side. He said that the twister seemed to cross Phillips south of Bowden Road and said even though he felt at a safe distance, his adrenaline was pumping.
There it was, a tornado. We saw all the debris flying in the air, circling in the air. We saw 2 transformers blow. And then right after it passed, we did end up driving down Phillips before it got blocked off from police. There was a roof in the middle of the road, down power poles, trees that snapped in half from the right where the tornado crossed its path.
Wow, a path of damage. And take a look at these pictures from JEA as their crews were sent to Phillips Highway to assess damage there and to clean up the downed power lines.
And then there's this video tonight, which definitely captured something off at the front door of this home. Did you see that? Over on the left side of the screen, this surveillance camera just before 5 o'clock tonight in Jacksonville. Debris was also scattered around a bit, and the high winds you can see moved through there. Watch it again right there on the left side of your screen. You see that come through there, shaking that truck. And we want to see what happened in your neighborhood. You can send us pictures and videos of storm damage through the First Coast News app. Just use the Near Me feature in the bottom right-hand corner. And if you don't have our app yet, you can text the word app, APP, to 904-633-2402, and we'll send you a link right now so you can download it. On your side's Kaylee Tracy spoke with someone who witnessed the tornado on the south side. She joins us live now on Powers Avenue near Phillips Highway at the Pinebrook apartment complex. So, Kaylee, what is this man telling you about the moment?
Well, David Rothermel says he is counting his blessings tonight. He says he was sitting in his first floor apartment here watching First Coast News when he heard our chief meteorologist Tim Deegan talking about the tornado warning. He grabbed his cat and hunkered down. A few trees fell on his building and several others in the complex. Several power lines were down and the storm even knocked over the complex's sign. JEA and tree removal crews were out here all afternoon into the evening. We actually just saw them pull away just before our live shot tonight. Rothermel says the storm sounded like a train driving right past him.
We're looking at devastation. We're looking at how powerful a tornado could really be. I mean, you never know. You think a hurricane's something, you know, but when a tornado comes through and hits, it does something like this, and it does it in seconds. I mean, it gives you a warning when you see everything lift up off the ground and take off, like in the movie Twister. That's what happened.
Rothermel calls this flag you're looking at the lone flag left standing among all of this debris after the storm. The Red Cross is assisting families out here. We had a neighbor actually just tell us a little while ago that they have provided them a place to live while repairs are done here. And again, crews just pulled away not too long ago out here on the south side. For now, reporting live on the south side, Kaylee Tracy, First Coast News on your side.
And tonight, we also heard from Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry about the destruction from Elsa.
Now is a time to remember, we said it yesterday, we said it last night, we said it this morning, that weather is unpredictable, things can happen. It looked calm this morning, it looked calm this afternoon. Our message was, try to stay out of the streets, try to be safe, try to be careful.
And as a result of the damage, University Christian, which is on University Boulevard, will be closed in the morning. The school says it lost power due to damage from the storm.
In Columbia County, a tornado touched down south of Lake City this morning, bringing down a tree on a home with a mother and her 4 children inside. Fortunately, though, no one was hurt.
It looked like literally what you see off of a movie. It was scary. I shut the door and went back inside, got all the kids. I took them to the pantry because there was no windows in there. I didn't want the kids to get hurt, so that was my main concern.
And we're seeing flooding all over the First Coast today. On your side's Jocelyn Howard continues our live team coverage. She's out in one problem spot, McCoy's Creek. So Jocelyn, what's it like there tonight where you are?
Yeah, well, Heather, we arrived here around 5 o'clock tonight, and just to take a quick look real fast, the road closed sign down there is where we first came up to. There wasn't any water there at the time, and then quickly things started to change here. We started having to move our car back because you can see hopefully the reflection of the water. Right now, you can't see where the creek starts and where the road starts and where the grass is basically in between. The water has completely overtaken everything. Now, just for a quick reference, if you want to look over here, Byron, over here we have this barrier right here, and you can see that come up to about here on me, and back further where the creek is, about where the bank was over there, where the creek started, these were also standing. So you can imagine if these are still up, how high that water is. Now this is, like you mentioned, Heather, a problem area. This is definitely something that people around here talk about, that whenever we were talking to some people, they said, this is no surprise, we see this all the time. And one woman who actually lived over here said, hey, you came to visit my private island today, and she was joking around about it. But it is a serious problem here, and the city is trying to do something about it. A restoration project is underway. So you can see that online. We looked it up, and we can find that for you here on First Coast News and online at firstcoastnews.com. I'm Jocelyn Howard, First Coast News, on your side.
Thank you, Jocelyn. And Elsa's path through the First Coast turned fatal when a tree branch fell, striking 2 cars and killing 1 driver in Ortega. On your side's Haley Harrison spoke with a man who lives near the scene of this tragedy and heard it when it all happened.
Anytime a tropical storm comes through, I see a lot of tree branches, a lot of fallen trees.
But what Morgan Singletary heard from his backyard Wednesday afternoon was more than an old tree branch giveaway.
And then all of a sudden I hear this loud crash. Then 2-3 minutes later, because I know there's a fire station right down the road, I hear a bunch of sirens pulling up.
The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says a tree branch hit a Dodge Challenger and a Toyota Highlander as they were traveling north on Roosevelt Boulevard near Yacht Club Road. It ripped off the roof of the Dodge Challenger, and police say instantly killed the driver, a man in his 20s. Investigators say the car then veered off the road and struck a utility pole.
It's terrible. It really is. It's a freak accident. It's an act of God, whatever you want to call it. It comes down and it hits the car perfectly where it's going to end this young man's life.
The driver of the Toyota was not injured. Neither driver has been identified. At a press conference Wednesday evening, Mayor Lenny Curry said the incident was the only known injury or fatality from the storm, calling it a tragedy. In Ortega, I'm Haley Harrison, First Coast News, on your side.
And San Jose is one of the hardest hit areas of Duval County tonight. Our crew saw several large downed trees into houses and even damage to an apartment complex. On your side's Don White is live at a home on Old Kings Road South where that storm took down a 60-year-old tree and sent another tree on the roof. So, Don, let's talk about what you're seeing out there tonight.
Well, Anthony, this magnolia tree over here has been outside of this home for more than 6 decades. That is until Hurricane Elsa. The tree fell down across the yard here. Then it went through that truck over there, which shattered the windows. Let's take a look at some video that we got earlier. See that there were other downed trees in this neighborhood. Another one about a block from here. That one took out power lines. Another neighbor told me someone else's patio furniture is now in her backyard. Maria Pollard is the homeowner who lost her magnolia tree, and she says she saw the tornado warning on TV, and then she gathered her family in the middle of the home. She says hearing several trees crashing down sounded like huge bangs, and that is something she will never forget.
Shock, like I can't believe this really happened, and so fast, so much damage, and just looks so violent. And I mean, the trees look like they were weeds, you know, being ripped out of the ground.
And another tree crashed into the roof here. That put a hole in the roof, and the Pollards, they now have a tarp over it. They say that they are going to be cleaning up repairs here tomorrow. Live in San Jose, Dawn White, First Coast News, on your side.
Tropical Storm Elsa leaving a lot to clean up. Thank you, Dawn. Streets here in Jacksonville started collecting water early in the day. These pictures were taken this morning on the northwest side of the city along the Ribault River. Baker County also saw a good amount of rain today. We want to thank Jessica Steiger for sharing this video with us. And listen to that. This is in St. Augustine. The rain, as you can hear, falling hard this morning. This video is from Pam Whittle. She says she's on vacation at Ocean Gallery, and she shared this video with us.